It's very good friends of mine with me. They go by Oops the Band. I'm sure some of you guys remember David. He's from ECMG, and he's one of the main members. And we also have Aileen. I'm sure you guys heard me talk about her last time.
Hi.
Well, they're here with me today. I want them to give you just a little perspective of what Oops the Band is and how they came up with it.
All right. Well, hi again. I'm here to say more controversial things. So, Oops began when there was a bit of a change in my gigging life. As many of you who know me know, I was gigging every single weekend for 15 years or 13. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. That's all I'm going to say. But when things started slowing down, I had this vision to do music that I had never done before. That I was not familiar with, that I was not comfortable with. I've always been a metal guy, as you know, and
Right.
I made a lot of the rap music beats and stuff like that in the day, but I never really ventured into like punk and pop and stuff like that, something I wasn't really into. And I knew Aileen. I've known Aileen for 10 plus years. I knew her before my own kid was born, as well as Cracc. You know,
True.
We're all, related in some kind of way. And never thought to work with her on a musical level, but I always thought it would be fun to work with somebody I'd never worked with before, a different personality, no idea what kind of musician she was. I just knew she was a really good piano teacher. So it was kind of an experiment to myself. Can I work with somebody that I'm not familiar with? I don't know what your perspective is on it, but that's what I take it as.
Doing music in general was like a fantasy of mine. I just never knew how I would get there or like how it would come to me because I didn't know anyone who wanted to do music with me or anything like that. And I was kind of just following the band and not really, thinking that I had a chance till it worked out that the opportunity arose. And then I was like, this is everything I've ever like wanted to do so bad. And it's just, I feel like you're the mind and I'm the heart of the Oops.
That's real.
And
I do not have a
put it.
heart. That is confirmed.
I feel like I'm the one who maybe brings in like obviously I'm like the social media person, but outside of that, like I feel like I like to come up with the concept of like what the song's gonna be about and like what the message is and like the lyrics and the melody and stuff. But then you're like the mastermind behind every other aspect of the whole entire thing. So it's pretty much awesome because I don't have to do that part because I don't know anything about that stuff.
Right. And for the longest time, I wanted somebody who I hate the sound of my own voice unless it's screaming. I love the way that I scream, but I hate the way that I sing. So this was like, it goes back before that. I don't know how deep you want me to get into it, but the reason that we really started working together is because of my 52 and 52 project.
True.
With Broken Pus, and I needed a different voice. I didn't want to be the only voice. There's a big storyline behind it. You guys can go to my Instagram at Broken Pus if you want to follow the story. But essentially, I needed a different voice to be a different character.
Well, to be fair, I came in because I complimented one of your songs and said that I liked it and that I liked the singing part of it. And you were like, "Oh, you should sing." And I was like,
Right.
"Oh,
Yeah,
I never thought
knew
about
you.
that before."
I never knew that you could sing. I know you played piano.
I have imposter syndrome, so I still don't believe I can sing, but I think I can.
I think I can too, but I can't
take
sing
it.
like you.
Right. And again, that was in my mind, and of course that on a surface level, yeah. But I was kind of cooking in my head, like, what can I do to make the story insane? And again, if you go to my at Broken Pus, you can follow along with the story, and in the end, I always wanted to write a story that in the end the bad guy always wins, because there's too many good guys winning. I hated that concept. So I wanted to be, in the final moments burning in hell and, oh my God, life is over and everything is terrible, and I wanted an outsider to find their way into the 52 world. And in some way, shape or form, it kind of manifested into the reality of an outsider coming into the 52 world and doing what we do. So.
And I came in as an angel.
An angel. And left as a
And now we are writing Bible of Baal.
That's right.
We're working on a Bible.
Yeah.
No big deal. But also with Oops, it's a little different because that is actually like our minds came together. Because Broken Pus is like all you. But Oops is like...
The elevation of Broken Pus when I first met him has been insane. I remember the first time he sent me a Broken Pus video. I was in the library at school in college. And I turned the video on, and I got maybe like 30 seconds into it, and I was like, bro, what the hell is this? They're going to think I'm in a cult. I had to wait till I got home to watch the rest of it because He has my one friend like having sex with a mannequin while the other ones are praying to like a little statue.
Video,
That's an iconic video, by the way.
It was so wild. It was like legit on the same type of energy that Odd Future was on at that time. And I was like, this man is insane. But he made bomb ass beats. And I was like, you know what? There's something there in the insanity that's making the music work. So keep doing what you're doing.
You're crazy enough to do the wildest things, which is what we need in this world.
I think that's what makes him the great person that he is, though, because he's not afraid to take those risks. I want to know, like, the process that you guys are doing now with Oops. Is it the same that you were doing with 52? I know you guys are like live streaming a lot of your sessions, but I want to know, is it the same like time frame, or are you guys being more structured?
Actually, okay. So there's no rules. That's what we decided with Oops. So that means that there are nights where David decides we're gonna write 3 songs, and he just decides to write 3 songs, and then there's days could go by and we don't write a song, and then there could be one night where one song happens, and then it's been like whatever happens, and then we take those songs and then we see which ones we like connect with, or we look back at and we're like, no, this one needs to happen. And there's been plenty that we've thrown away or haven't done anything with. But
understandable.
He basically is like a song machine. Like
I know.
It just comes out, and then we just are like, wait, which one can we work with though? And then the lyrics and the melody and everything else comes out afterwards.
No, he's always been that type of person.
I think he could write a song every day, all day long.
He could write 12 songs a day.
If he had no job, if he didn't have to work, he would do that all day.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. And one day, manifesting, somebody get the clear quartz. It's going to be, I will, for my job, my main income, the thousands and hundreds and thousands of dollars is coming from writing music, and I will do that.
It's definitely going to come.
Manifesting
when we didn't have jobs, we were probably doing about 12 songs a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
With no problem, just back to back. And it was honestly probably some of the most fun recording, because we were all just broke 20-year-olds with nothing to do, living with our parents. So
on it as fuck.
All we had to do all we had to do is smoke weed and make music. So
oh yeah, that was back when I did that type of thing. But I think one of the things, like, to your question about, is there a format, is there a template? The way that I think about it, and again, you can look back at the last Camino Corner episode that I was on. Every minute is a song, every second is a song, every moment is a song. You can write a song. If somebody hands me a guitar right now and tells me write a song, I'm writing a full song in 20 minutes, because there's no that it is a formula, but it's also not a formula. You just got to envision the next step. So with Oops specifically, like I really want to zero in on that, because the time frame began the minute Broken Puss was over.
Right.
So when I did the last Broken Puss song, titled 52, it was the 52nd song. That's when I started trying to write the album, trying to write the record. And I remember I came on here to the Camino Corner, and I made a bold statement that October 31st is when our record was going to come out.
You beat that timeline.
Oh, beat it. We beat it.
And it's funny because I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, I didn't know that we were going to have this record come out October 31st, but apparently we are. And it is happening.
The power of potential. You just you fight the demon of no, and you fight the demon of self-doubt, and you just say, no, fuck that shit. I'm going to be done before that. And so what I want to say is, officially, we were done with the record by October 6th.
That's awesome.
So, and that was around, what was that, like end of August when that episode came out, around then? So at that moment, it was really like, it was go time. It's make it happen. And we went through a lot of stuff and whatever, but that never stopped me. I didn't really care. All these rules about life where it's like, yeah, but I have this to do and I have that to do. I have a full-time job. I have an 8-year-old boy. Shout outs to Lef. I love you so much.
What up, Lef?
Shout out, Lef.
I have a bunch of responsibilities in life, but that's never for a moment going to stop me from making music. Again, watch the other one. I don't want to go into a tirade again, but there's rules that people set up for themselves to limit themselves.
To be fair, I think we counted recently since the Oops thing began, and I think you've written maybe almost 50.
No, it was 70.
Wait, really?
70 songs that or for Oops and for the other projects. But
okay. So yeah. So what took you 52 weeks before to do has been
in
2 months. Yeah, beat it by 20 in 2 months. basically.
But now he has the studio space in my house to go nuts. So
Well,
it's
that as
made a
well as the
difference.
fact of there was a concept behind the 52, so that takes more structure, and the fact that you were shooting the videos and everything as well.
Oh yeah, the music videos
Yeah.
were.
Most of them were AI, but then when we started doing your stuff, I'm like, this is where we need to like really change everything, and we really need to like do something different. I didn't ever want to show my face. As a matter of fact, I was working with somebody else I've worked with in back in the day, trying to figure out a way to like get him to remove my face from all of social media, because I wanted to be completely anonymous. I wanted to like become a ghost, you know. And then I wanted people to think that I was AI, that I wasn't real and stuff like that. So when they found out, you know, when the great reveal happened on the last song, they'd be like, wow, this is actually a dude, you know? And, you know, she kind of convinced me like, okay, you know, I want to be on a thing and I want to be on a video. And I was already doing the live videos because I had changed things. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Whatever. I'm leaving myself up there. So.
Right. That was a big change from the AI to the live videos.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was done in the right moment. And it was.
And those videos were done literally like we just. I don't even know.
Oh,
I don't even understand how we did.
I
them.
did one, so I understand.
Well, when we get to the next part of this, I want to tell a funny story. But yeah, for the Oops record, like really the thing that I wanted to express about it is really we wrote that record in September. Like that was the entire record. The entire 10 songs were really written in September. And again, we went through a lot of stuff, but you know, the first song, we pretty much wrote that a week before we released it. I mixed it, mastered it and all that. And I was like, let's just release a song. I don't know what we're all waiting for. So I wanted to release that song, and it kind of started leading into this thing, you know. So Oops is, to me, is avant-garde punk. I don't know a lot about punk music. I'm not very into punk music, you know, in a practical sense. But part of the opening my mind thing was doing a genre
That you haven't done before.
Exactly. Everybody says, like, you know, the famous Miami line, right? I like all music except country music. I like country music.
So do I.
Yeah, the music that
thanks.
that I would say I don't like is punk, or I didn't like is punk. Anytime anybody would ask me, it's like, well, what style of music do you not like? Oh my God, but what about this band and this band? And I'm not going to name drop any names, but you know, I just never found it that good.
For me, it's always about what they're saying. If I could deal with the message, I'll listen to it. If it has good instrumentation behind it, that's even better for me. But
I'm a lyrics
that's my
person,
thing.
so
Yeah.
I do pay attention to the message, and I think writing these songs has been like the most therapeutic experience for me, because I never was able to express myself through lyrics, and I feel like that has made it's like a whole game changer.
The therapy part is crazy.
How much of it have you been writing?
I would say this album, it's almost 50-50 because he did write a lot of the lyrics too. Maybe 60-40.
It's just funny when you listen to the record when it does come out, and I do want to talk about some of the songs specifically, but when you hear it, you'll hear the difference between the lyrics I wrote and the lyrics she wrote. We were talking about this last night after we came back from, I was playing with Orlando Mendez last night at this Heroes thing, and I came back and I wanted to write music because, you know, if I just played a show, I want to write music right after. I've never done that before, but, you know, I wanted to try it to see what happened.
That's actually really good. I just went to Wale's concert recently.
Oh, okay.
And that's what he's doing for this album. He's playing a show, and then as soon as he gets off the show, he's going to the studio to record music for
Great
the new
minds
album.
think alike.
So
Also,
that's
Wale
actually really
likes
cool.
wrestling, so he's good in my mind,
Facts.
man. But yeah, so we did that, and we were talking about it, and I was just kind of, for the first time, really objectively listening to everything and putting myself outside of the music instead of being, you know, dicked down into it, you know. And we were listening to one of the ones where I wrote the lyrics, and I'm like, man, I just make everything so fucking complicated for no goddamn
All
reason.
his lyrics are like elaborate and fancy words and things I would never say.
But
and then
that's-
mine's are like how I would talk.
That's just how he does music. I remember when we first started working together, he sent me a beat, and I was like, bro, you don't have to do all of this. Just be simple. And he was like, what do you mean? I don't know how to be simple. I'm like, yeah, that's showing.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I don't think there's such a thing as simple.
I was like, bro,
for
just
him.
make the chorus a little bit different from the verses, and you're good. He's like, no, but I'm gonna change it up like this. And I was like, okay, you know, fuck it, let's rock. And we started making music in that manner because I realized like simplicity is not his thing. If it's not complex, he can't do it, and that's what works for him.
Well, that's why I would even call Oops avant-garde punk, because a comment that one of our good friends made was, she's like, it just doesn't seem like anything really fits together. And people who like pop music don't understand progressive music.
Right.
And people who like progressive music don't understand pop music. I would definitely put myself in the progressive camp. I like music that's constantly changing, wacky, you know, like a little silly and stuff like that. I like that. But then the pop side, and that's why Aileen is such a good musical balance for me, because I like the weird, the strange, depraved, and, you know, haram, to use an Andrew
But I
Tate
like
word.
catchy pop.
Yeah, but you like catchy pop that has like a good, like a
Has a
good
message.
message and stuff, right? But for me, like it's hard. Like I have to sit there and consciously, like really say, like, okay, David, don't play an augmented chord in the middle of these two major
Even though
chords.
you want to.
Oh man, do I want
sure
to?
you wanna
Oh my
scream.
God, yeah.
As much as you possibly can.
Yeah,
Well,
we
we'll talk
tried
about-
to make a rule about you not screaming too much in this album. That
Yeah.
was like a big part of that.
There is very little screaming on it. That you'll hear it on one of the tunes. There's a lot more.
There's 2 songs with screaming.
Yes, but it's
Out of
tasteful.
10, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, compared to the Broken Puss, where it was every single song they were screaming.
Yeah, but that was a Broken Plus project. So
Right.
If it was any other way, it wouldn't have made sense.
But a little bit of Broken Puss has to be an oops, like a little.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know.
because it is supposed to be a mashup, you know, of things, and that's why I'll still consider it till the end of days as avant-garde. Because 1 minute you'll have a song like one of the ones that we have out right now called "Add It to the List," where it's just punk, like it's just
Right.
straight up punk, and then another song is like sludge. You know, it's like sludge metal, and it has
There's
like
one song that's like Lana Del Rey.
Oh yeah,
That's my
yeah.
like that was my fantasy. I wanted like a Lana Del Rey like song. There's one that's like the How Good Is Your Pretend.
Yeah, out right now on all the streaming platforms.
That one is unlike any of the other ones. I don't even know how to
And I'll tell you
say
a
what
quick
that one is.
a quick little tidbit about that, and not talk too much. But
Go ahead.
When I first wrote that one, we did it on a live stream on Tuesday
Right.
on Twitch, and I didn't like it. I was like, this kind of sucks. But when she put lyrics to it, it became a song that I cannot get out of my head no matter how hard I try. Today we were driving around doing something else, some kind of business errand, and I just could not get the song out of my head no matter where we went. And it's like, I already listened to this song. It's supposed to be out of my head.
That's
you know?
not how it works, though. If something's like really on you, it's gonna be on you.
No, I feel like we believe in that song. Like it's the one song that we look at the whole album. We're like, okay, that song's fun. This one's great. But this song is like I love this song.
So my question with that: do you guys plan on pushing it like a single?
So it's gonna be in the album regardless. But it is
No,
a
for
single
sure.
right
But
now.
do you want to? I'm saying like, because like 52, we pushed every song for sure, but it wasn't. There wasn't any structure to.
There was no single. on
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Well, not only that, but there was no structure to the marketing behind it.
Right.
With this song, do you think you want to put like more marketing and time
I think
into
so.
it?
I think this one should stand alone outside of the fact that obviously it's part of the album and
For
it's
sure.
the finale of the album. I still think this song needs to stand on its own because the message behind it is the whole point of everything that we're doing.
Okay.
That's kind of like how I see it.
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag on it, but you know, for us, it might be a shocking thing to hear, but we've actually turned a lot of our energy upward. You know, we've really tried to explore and think about our relationship to the divine relationship. You know, personally, I've always been a Christian. My relationship with Jesus Christ is very important to me. And, you know, for a long time, I was kind of just dwelling in darkness. I had a lot of dark people around me for a minute. And so like with this, it's so weird because the time that I was in with you is I always knew you to be an atheist and somebody who was kind of on the harsh side of spirituality. And I've always been, I mean, Cracc, you know, you know
Yeah.
this since the
No,
beginning.
you were-
I've always been,
He was super Bible thumper when I met him.
oh yeah.
And it was cool because like I'm religious too, and I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I don't like the word
Right.
religious.
No, right.
But like I'm big on my spiritual side. So like we bonded on that, but it was like I'm still gonna go to the strip club later, bro. And he was like, "No, that's not right." And I was like, "All right, well, you could do what you gonna do. We can still feel the same way that we feel about God
which
and
is
everything."
a huge change from the conversation we were
Huge change
texting the other
nowadays,
day.
bro. Huge changes nowadays.
I
Because, but you know, you elevate in life and you change the way that you want things of that sort.
I've gone from every avenue. I grew up Catholic, and then I became a pretty atheist, and then I became more like agnostic, and then I was trying to find spirituality, and that's kind of what the whole point of How Good Is Your Pretend is. Is like I started trying to find spirituality somehow, and I'm now like getting closer and closer to God, if that makes sense. And I feel like it all started from the idea of pretending almost, and like kind of fake it till you make it, and believe in something so that you can get closer and closer to actually having a faith. And like that's kind of what the whole song is about. And I think David's a huge part of that. I was very much not even thinking about it much. I was seeking something, but it was him who kind of was like, how good is your pretend? And that's how the whole thing, that's why the album's called that. It was like literally words that came out of his mouth. Like, how good is your pretend?
Coming down.
Yeah, and it was like, and then the crystals and all the other stuff, it kind of represents stuff that fuels the pretend. But at the end of the day, your pretend becomes reality.
Right.
And that's the whole point.
That's real.
Check out How Good Is Your Pretend.
Yeah, it's a really good song, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I enjoy listening to it. I don't like much of anything, so for me to like really like something, is like, I would just listen to Mystical and Limp Bizkit every day if it were up to me. But this one is definitely in that, in that ballpark.
I love that song.
So you guys spoke on how there is more to you guys than just Oops. Do you want to touch on some of the other projects that you're working on in between?
Well, yeah. I mean, just to say one last thing about Oops, because again, that's really the thing that we're focusing right now on is the album is coming out October 31st. We're looking for shows to play our original music. That is the focus. That is the main goal here is to bring a community of people who don't have the answers together and kind of have fun with them, not make it too serious, not make it, too silly, nothing on that. But Oops is about like, we all make mistakes.
Right.
That's where the name comes from, in my opinion, is like, we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Oops. And you move on. You know what I mean?
feel that.
And we've had a lot of oops moments. We've had a lot of oops.
A lot of oops.
Yeah. But the good thing is that we're growing and learning, and we have another record planned, and you're going to be a big part of that. And, so.
That next record that's going to come next is going to be
really
a whole other thing.
It's going to be think about Tech Nine Collabos records, where he's just working with other people.
Big collab album.
Like I told you on the last episode, I'm writing verses in 15 minutes right now.
Exactly.
I'm more excited than everyone about music, so I'm looking forward to that. Just send me what you want.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be in it.
For
so.
sure.
Cracc needs to be on a punk song. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's easy for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've done enough genre bending over the years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we might even one day drop that No Offense Part 3. We'll see in 4 years.
We'll see.
But yeah, so that's Oops. But really another big thing, and like you mentioned, another thing is finally after all of these years, we've begun our own media company under El Camino. We are a subsidiary to El Camino, but 52 and 52 Media LLC. We are incorporated. You can find us on Sunbiz if you want to. And that was always something that I wanted to do, that just strictly really focused on making music, like being a driving force of creativity. And we've had a lot of important partners in that. Obviously myself and Aileen were kind of like the ones that started it, but we have important factors too. I actually want to see if we can get our manager
our
here.
Special guest manager.
A special guest manager.
Supportive character, bookkeeper.
She's a bookkeeper. She's a consultant, and she's also the girl I lay down to next to every night. This is Mavic.
What's up, Mavic?
Hi.
So
she's been here through all the madness, so you can ask her pretty much anything. Just
she watched everything firsthand.
I witnessed it all.
She's traumatized.
And we did mention Mavic on the ECMG episode as well.
Yep.
Thank you for allowing him to scream in your house for 52 weeks.
Oh, that's
the norm.
That was great with me. Is fine. So it's just thank you to my neighbors that they
Right.
they were fine with it.
What's your take on everything with Oops and you guys moving forward over the next year?
I've never seen. Well, the first thing was like I met David, who I've always seen as one of the most passionate people I've ever met.
For sure.
And I've always seen that like there was something that he can do with that passion and that drive. But then I never thought I would meet someone else who would be just as passionate and driven. And just to watch both of them work together, having the mindset, the show is going to happen. It's got to go on. We're going to make it.
Yes.
We got to work hard. What's the plan?
Well, we
big
literally
things
made
will
a
happen.
contract that no matter what happens, music continues.
That's literally
right.
how this interview happened. Like something came up, and I was like, "Oops, what's up?" And now y'all are here. So
So I see big things happening for sure.
what is the plan over the next 12 months?
Okay, so let me
Take
just-
your watch
hold
off.
on.
Get serious.
Yeah, I gotta take my watch off. It's not
If when he's like recording music, if he takes the watch off, it's,
Yeah,
we
you
know
know.
Yeah,
it's,
that's when
it's
I
about
know.
to get serious.
Yeah, so we have a lot of groups. We have a lot of things that we're going to be doing. A lot of them are going to involve the family, you know,
For sure.
the ECMG family, each other, you know, different genres. Right now, what is out there under the 52 production kind of umbrella is Oops. Obviously, we have 3 songs out right now. It's Got a Hold of Me, How Good Is Your Pretend, and add it to the list. You can stream them anywhere. We have a post-rock band called Broken Sonata.
Right.
It is all instrumental music, and again, it is post-rock. And if you know anything about post-rock, it's like Tool in a way, but it's
Kind of like Pink Floyd.
kind of like Pink Floyd, kind of
That's
like
how he
Tool.
sold me on it.
Yeah, it's like dreamy kind of music. We have another song coming out on the 25th, this coming Friday. But yeah, it's just spacey kind of music. There's some vocals sometimes there's not. And then we have some other projects, some things that are kind of under wraps at the moment. You know, a lot of it is take a genre. If there's too much of that genre, the way I look at it, if there's too much of that genre, it needs to be another band. Because we can't just go and like make, you know, a drum and bass Oops album. It's just not going to work. So
I get that.
and Aileen jokes we need to come up with 52 bands, you know, because that's pretty
52
much
Media needs 52 bands.
yeah, at this point, you know, it's going to be so many things. And, you know, right now, those are the 2 that are out in the public. There's another one that'll be out in the public pretty soon. And then still another that, you know, figure it out if you can kind of thing. And there's,
We got merch.
we have merch.
That's
Talk
new.
about the merch.
Okay, so.
I saw the phone case. That's fire.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you like cats and wizards?
Yeah.
Because that's what our merch is.
Where's the phone case?
It's actually my purse.
Okay.
Okay.
Somebody get the
Should I
phone
go
case.
ahead?
Yeah,
Okay,
go
hold
ahead.
I got it.
So we got phone cases, we got coffee mugs, we have special pills. They're multivitamins.
Multivitamins.
You know, they're magical pills.
Here's the phone case.
So yeah,
That's
there's
so fire.
yeah. Show
It's
it
a
to the
wizard.
camera. I don't know if you could see from that far,
Yeah, I'm
but
sure you can't see it super well, but
but it's super cool. It is a thing. We also have a ton of T-shirts. Again, they're cat themed or wizard themed.
we're very big cat lovers.
We
over
like
here.
cats.
We like
all-
cats.
We love cats. Do you love cats?
I'm not with the
Oh.
Oh man.
cats. David, you know me,
Hater.
bro. I've
You
always
will
been a
like
dog
cats.
person.
Yeah. You know, I've always been a dog person too, but I evolved away from it because I just realized how damn needy dogs are, and I don't
And that's
like
what
that.
I like about them. Cats are so standoffish. I'm like, bro, I'm
That's the whole-
standoffish
that's
already.
What's great about them.
I'm like, I'm standoffish. I don't need a standoffish animal.
You will
I need some
understand
type
one
of
day.
attention.
Yeah,
If you ever have a cat, you will then
get it.
understand.
yeah.
I don't
Actually,
see myself doing that.
the CEO of our company is
a cat?
is Aileen's cat Kitty.
Kitty,
Yeah.
she is the everything. She
Yeah.
is the E CEO.
Gotcha.
We had to have a band meeting with her because she's just out of hand right now, and she just needs to calm down a little bit and kind of just chill.
Gotta hit it with the
And as
catnip.
David's
Oh, yeah.
writing, she will bless us with her presence. She'll touch each one of us, and then
Oh, yeah.
she'll be done.
She's a little diva
Yeah, you can actually get a signed photo of Kitty on our
on our merch
um,
store.
on
That's
our merch
fire.
store.
That's fire.
She's on my necklace right now.
Yeah.
This is in our merch store as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
There she is.
yeah.
She's the princess, and she is, along with Popcorn and Jinx, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to give
Those are my cats.
Kitty
Okay,
all
gotcha.
the shine, but
So you can get a "Don't Get Jinxed" shirt featuring Jinx. Added to the list is based on
Popcorn.
our cat Popcorn. He's a dick.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. But and then Kitty is obviously the one who makes all the
She's the
business
diva of the-
decisions. Yeah,
of the
yeah,
cat
she's the
crew.
perfect princess.
Right, yeah.
Got you.
So, but we're just trying to have fun. You know, again, one of the things that I also have suffered through a lot, and I'm sure you know this, is I take myself too seriously sometimes with the
Felt.
music stuff, and I get in my feelings about things that I shouldn't get in my feelings about, and you know, some of that neurosis comes from a desire to be perfect and a desire to be infallible and, you know, the best on earth. But I can do that on stage with the couple of people that I play with. And, you know, I can do fun things like that on stage. But then when I bring my original stuff, I want it to be completely owned by me. And that's really lightened me up. Because I feel like a sense of ownership over the original music. And it's not like I'm just regurgitating or adding to something somebody else wrote.
Right.
So...
I mean, there was one time that he was at my house trying to write a song, and he was kind of like overthinking it and like kept scratching the idea and trying again. And I think he was trying to replicate something or trying to like go off of an idea or whatever, and he kept overthinking it. And I was like, I'm gonna go play piano, like just write whatever you want, like just do whatever you want. And the next thing you knew, he wrote like the most beautiful song, and it's called Take Off.
That goes to what we were speaking about before we got on there about like checkup.
Right.
I'm the type of person, if I'm overthinking it, I'm just gonna leave that beat alone. I'm not gonna touch it.
Right.
And then when something comes to me, it comes to me. Because I used to be that same way.
Oh yeah.
Except for when I work with him. He's the only person that I can work with. And it's like, bro, just start working on a beat. I'm gonna have something by the time you're done. Anyone else, I would be like, I have to sit down and think. And I realize that music's best when you're not thinking about it and it just comes to you. So I feel like I completely get why he overthinks things at times.
It's art.
But yeah, it's art.
That's how
for sure.
art works.
And it's how you're expressing yourself. You don't want to express yourself and then hate it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even with lyrics, I used to think I had to wait till I had a feeling or a thought or something to express. And there was like 1 or 2 times where you were like, write the lyrics right now, like go. And I was like, I have to, I don't know, like I haven't thought about it. And I just poured it out. And then you realize you can just do it if you really just tell yourself, go right now.
Some of the best songs that David and I have worked on, like Marathon, started as a freestyle.
Mm-hmm. I think overthinking is limiting.
For sure.
You just should just pour it out, see what happens. What's the worst that happens?
And that's
worst that happens is you hate it, you delete it and start over.
And you just delete it,
that's
start
right.
over.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the things that I learned a lot with 52 is that you're your own worst enemy. People will like the shit you drop if you like it. You know what I mean? If you think like, oh my God, but what if this person doesn't like it, or if that person doesn't approve, or blah 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 blah. It gets like that, and it be like that. But at the end of the day, people are gonna hate it, and people are gonna love it. And it doesn't matter. You gotta like it. Mm-hmm. You gotta appreciate your own output. There was a random story. There was a random moment in time during 52 where I was like, I want to do a lo-fi hip hop song, for whatever reason, just cause. And I was overthinking it a lot, and I turned it into a video of me playing bass on my Instagram, and it was totally off-brand and random, but. Right. It got a lot of attention, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then I released the actual, the actual original idea, and it got less plays than everybody. And it kind of put me in a bummed out situation. So I'm like, oh, man, I got to do more metal now and this and that. But in a sense, now that I look back at it, I finally listened to it again after months and months and months. And I'm like, this is a cool song. Mm-hmm. This is a good song. Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
The people.
I let the people's reaction get to me because I'm like, why did they like me playing bass better than my actual output artistically, I
get that.
And so, I mean, again, the idea of the Oops thing and the idea of all these bands that we're putting together, at the end of the day, it's supposed to be
passion.
Passion. It's just
we
release whatever it is the hell that we want to release. I mean, there's no rules to it. And I think people meaning artists, they spend a lot of time trying to please the crowds and whatever. I'm fully aware, by the way, that rap is the #1 art form as far as music is concerned. I'm fully aware of that, and I care not about it. I don't care if it is, because that's not what I'm doing.
Or reggaeton.
Yeah, or reggaeton. But I'm aware that it's very popular. I'm aware that most kids these days like rap more than they like rock and whatever, but it's not my goal and not my initiative to try to make rock #1.
But it's not because of a lack thereof artists. It's just the way that these companies are set up. And honestly, rap's going down. Country's on the way to being the #1 thing right now. You have artists like Teddy Swim that are killing it right now, and it's just because that's what's getting the push. So honestly, it doesn't matter what you're creating as long as it's what you like and you're willing to put the backing behind it, because this stuff is going to change every week.
Right, and that's one of the things too. Like, I was thinking when we went into it, this whole thing, like, we got to make a rap album. We got to do a rap thing or whatever. And I'm
But
just
why?
like,
You
why?
already have ECMG for that.
Exactly.
You would have been cutting yourself short.
So I just decided, no, we're just going to do, it's funny. It's just a simple phrase that you said, just do whatever you want. Just do whatever you want. And that is so hard for me. That is so difficult because I want to do whatever I want. I want to do something weird where I just fart on a track for 30 minutes and scream in Swahili. But,
I mean, somebody would like it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that there's going to be so many doors opening now to weird stuff that we can do. And I'm proud of and I'm okay with being considered different and strange and whatever, avant-garde even, because that's who I am. And I'm not going to make any kind of,
But to be fair, with Broken Puss, I felt like you were trying to be the opposite of easy to digest. You were trying to be, the whole idea was being as outlandish, I guess, as you could be. But then when we started Oops, we were trying to think about how to be easier to digest in
More
that
palatable.
aspect. But then it's like, I also don't want to be like that easy to digest. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's like find that balance of like expressing yourselves, being what you want, but also not like trying to scare everyone away.
Right.
With the screaming. So find that balance that's kind of like been the challenge, I think, is like you want people to like it, you want it to be catchy, you want people to relate to it, you don't want to be totally like off some other deep end where no one can like connect, but then also you don't want to be like sugarcoating things and like watering yourself down to make the message easier. So it's tricky,
But I feel like he's worked on, so just speaking, I feel like, David, you worked on so many different projects within the last 5 years at least that you can find the perfect balance with Oops because you did Men's Chess Club, you did ECMG projects, you did Broken Puss. So all those things put together kind of is forming what you're doing right now.
Exactly. That's a really good way to put it because I often think too much about what this is going to sound like in 10 years or what is this going to sound like in 5 years to me. But I listen back to the Men's Chess Club stuff and I'm like, this is just a rap postal service album. And, I could put myself down as much as I want, but some of those songs are bangers. And one of the songs on there, like I was going through the death of 2 family members in a month and I was just like, it's only me on there, though. I wish Cracc would have rapped on it, or I wish Emmy would have rapped on it, or I wish Nicki was on it. But at the end of the day, that expression is vital in that moment because, like I said before, every moment, every second, every day is a new song. It can be a new song. Every minute has something to it. So putting myself down about that has been, as a musician, we hate ourselves. I mean, we look in the mirror and we're like, you're just shit. Like,
what
what's
the fuck
wrong
are you
with
doing?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And, I'm sure you've had struggles with some of the, we like to call it the ignorant music and stuff like that and stuff that you might have put out before that isn't so intellectual or whatever, but it's awesome for that moment.
That's the fun thing. I always say the thing that always bothered me when I was younger was when I rap on some ignorant stuff, it's loved. You're like, damn, you killed that. And I'm like, I hate it because it's too easy. Like, I hate when I feel like the song's too easy. And that was my problem with Checkup. I felt like it was too easy. Then there's songs like Marathon where I'm like, oh, yeah, like, this is my pocket. I love it. Jordan Pippen.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Pippen, we sat on that for years. And the pandemic fucked up the release of how it's supposed to be. Oh. Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. Like, we had no control over that. I was supposed to release it with the Last Dance documentary. I was supposed to release the song when the first 2 dropped. They're supposed to drop in October of 2020. They dropped in like April because everyone was in the house. Yeah, so we're in the process of getting ready to shoot the music video for it and everything. And then we were shooting the video for Elevators for season 2 of Free Lunch Fridays. And while we were at the hotel shooting that video, Trump came on the TV and said,
"Oh my God,
we're locking this bitch down for 30 days." I looked at my videographer and I said, "Kilo, this bitch gonna be shut down after the election." And he called me on November 5th. He said, "You're the smartest motherfucker I know."
It's true.
Did you made the most work from that one day? Like,
No, for sure.
you wrapped it up, right?
Yeah.
That same day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, the music videos are no joke. I mean,
No.
that's like something we're gonna have to start figuring out because
Well, okay, so this is a story I wanted to tell before we run out of time.
Go ahead.
So, well, I think it was Reasons, right? Where you're running around with the wedding dress. that was the funnest music video experience ever, and all of the music videos that we did, because we were at her house, and we had just got done with band practice or something. I can't remember exactly the context, but she had the idea to put on her wedding dress
and have an axe.
Yeah.
I was like, I have an axe.
Random. She had an axe in her closet or something.
yeah.
I was like, I have an axe in my closet and I have a wedding dress. Let's make like a weird music video. And I love the behind the scenes of them just chasing me around the house, like with my wedding dress, just
so
running
I had
around.
here, picture it. So I had the song on the phone from an email. So it wasn't even on any streaming platform or anything yet. So it was just coming right off the email I had sent them with the final version. Mavic was right in front of me.
She's
Recording with my
and
phone.
then
He's
it's
behind her with the music playing, and I'm just running around the house.
Oh wow.
So
So there was a part where the music starts getting faster. It's kind of doing like a blast beat kind of thing, and so it's like, well, she's got to start running, and then
running in the dark.
in the dark.
Yeah,
With
because
the
all the
lights
lights of the
off.
house, we turned off all the lights.
Yeah. She started running, and I didn't realize, like, I'm like, damn, she's quick. Like,
And I might could have fallen, you know, like
Yeah,
my
you
dress
gotta
is
axe your
long.
hand.
And
That's
I'm there like,
crazy.
There's steps. There's stuff in the way.
oh yeah, and Kitty was confused. And it's like,
We're just running. and we're
looking
just
bad in front of the
laughing.
boss, you know, like we can't do that.
that was fun though. I liked the pressure though of the music videos at that time because it was like we had that same week to figure it
Yeah.
out. Like we had today. That's it.
No, legit.
It's
I
like
said-
it has to be out.
We did ours in an hour.
Yeah.
Pouring rain.
So it's like figure it out right now, and I think that was fun at the time to like have that challenge. Now with Oops, we don't have that like kind of feeling of like
Yeah,
you
that
got to figure
cutthroat
something out.
time.
But,
You know,
but I'm not against it.
maybe.
I mean, if it works, it works.
I'm not
Maybe we
against the
gotta-
pressure.
maybe we gotta start
I-
doing that again.
I do enjoy the pressure, and I can give you the very quick 5-second version of this is in that 52 weeks. I'm telling you right now with great confidence, there was never one moment where I knew what I was going to do next. I never thought about it. I never planned it. I was just like, you know what? I mean, again, my good buddy Recyclable Art, he was just always available to do things or whatever. But then when the live music videos came, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be this crazy. Like maybe we should like try
this
to
is getting
write.
hard.
you
It was very
know,
stressful.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I was driving everyone crazy because I would get frustrated because I'm like, it has to be like this and it has to be like
There was
that.
one music video he wanted to sacrifice me. Like he wanted me to be laying on the floor and he would sacrifice me. And I was like, we're getting too crazy.
Yeah.
All right. I don't
mean,
feel comfortable with that.
My favorite thing was where you're like, do we have to go to the graveyard? I was like, that's so David, bro. Like,
Because we
yes,
have to
you
film
go
it
to
in a
the
graveyard, an actual haunted
Yes.
one. I was like,
That's
okay.
an actual haunted graveyard. I'm gonna
And
say.
we saw a live band after that.
Yeah,
It was
there
just-
you
Casual day, you know.
hey, that's how it is working with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the other thing that I wanted to like do in that moment too was like create like a sense of fear. That's the name of the song, right? But a sense of fear in all of us that was organic and authentic. I think I didn't even mention where we were gonna go until like the night before. I'm like, let's just go to a graveyard, and I didn't really specific. This is the one near Sunset Place.
I knew you were gonna say that.
That
Yes.
little like the little shitty, like it's like from 1790.
And it's so awkward because there's no gate around it or anything.
Yep.
It's like, how's
just
this a
kinda have to
graveyard?
hop in.
You took me there for a date once. That was nice.
I think it was like one of our first dates. Is I took her to that
That
graveyard.
explains David in a nutshell, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Romantic.
It's like, oh, we're here. Okay.
but that's with Oops, it's going to be something totally different. It's going to be, I don't know. We haven't even talked about music videos yet, but probably by next week on Thursday we'll figure out
Look
a whole
out for
music
next
video.
week, our first music video.
Add it to the list.
I feel like
Add it to
Things
the
to do.
list.
I feel like you guys are gonna be more structured with it.
Yeah.
There's still gonna be some crazy. The crazy is good. You gotta have some crazy, but I feel like it will have a little bit more structure than what 52 was, because 52 was, again, a passion project. But
Right.
Well, how good is your pretend? We already do have kind of a concept for a music video. So that one, I know for a fact we got to do it.
Right.
But the others we'll see, I guess, how
Are you
people
guys trying to
react.
do a visual for everything? For every song?
Not for everyone. I think
No.
that's going to be...
It's
That
tough.
would be too much. That would be too
I
much.
We have
agree,
too
it's
many
tough.
projects.
Yeah.
We have too many things.
And the weird complicated thing I want to do about this, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to end up actually happening, but I really want Aileen to be the face of Oops, and then I'm kind of just lingering in the shadows because I like being the Hyde or the Jekyll. Which one is it? Which one's the evil one, Jekyll or Hyde?
Dr.
Dr.
Jekyll is
Jekyll.
the
They're both.
good one. So
And
Hyde.
Hyde is-
You're the Hyde,
So
yeah.
I want to
I had to
always.
think Arthur for a second. I was like, Jekyll, Hyde.
Yeah, there you go. Banger. But I do want to still I play a role when I'm behind the guitar. I feel like I go into a different persona and mindset. I was talking to you about it before we started filming. It's kind of like I feel like the template. My fingers are metal. This is all metal, and this is metal, but it's a metal guy trying to do pop punk. You know what I mean? So like it almost has like a Sum 41 thing to it in a way.
I get it. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I think that I want that to be the most entertaining aspect of it. But once we get to the collaboration album, I'm not going to give away too much. It's not going to be the same thing.
No, it's going to be a whole different challenge.
And I remember a professor of mine in college told me, a music professor told me, like, well, you got to stick to one genre so people know who you are and stuff like that, and they don't get confused. But I'm almost attracted to the idea of confusing everybody and changing things constantly just to make it wild, you know.
But you keep growing because you keep willing to do other things. You don't want to get stuck in just being one track. Yeah. That's why anytime you challenge me, you're like, hey, I want you to rap on this. And I was like, all right, fuck it, let's run it.
Well, the bluegrass rap is coming. You ready for it? You
I
ready
mean,
for the bluegrass?
Yeah, I think that would work if you were to have like a formula, but your formula is quite different. It's kind of a unexpected chaos.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Is what your genre is.
Yeah, I want people.
Damn, unexpected chaos.
Unexpected.
Okay.
That's a great one. That's really good. I didn't even coach her on that one.
We used to call it utter chaos because.
You're welcome.
I fed that.
Yeah. Utter chaos.
Utter chaos.
Utter chaos. That
We
was
used
a
to call
good
it utter
one.
chaos because that's what it was. Anytime all of us got together and worked, it was just we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're gonna eat sandwiches and work on something.
Well, I mean, and with all due respect to everybody in the music scene in Miami, I love the music scene here. Until really this year, I never really gave it a chance, to be honest. But lately, I have been giving it more of a chance. Shout outs to Feral Ember, one of my favorite post rock bands in town. Andy's a really, really nice dude, and I like his band a lot.
That's what's up.
You know, I kind of realized though that everybody books these shows in like genre cadences. You know what I mean? Like right now, I think one of the weirdest emergences of genres in Miami right now is goth rock. Like I didn't know how many goth rock bands were out there, but there's a ton of them. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
Like shout outs to Hennessy's, probably the best goth rock band in Miami in general. They're freaking amazing. Singers incredible. The
Genesis.
bass player's great. Guitar player's amazing. The drummer's freaking awesome. Everybody in that band is good.
It's just haunting and beautiful.
The one who plays the keyboard and then busted out with a rap in the middle of goth rock.
That
I was
was
like,
kinda
man,
What's the name of this band again?
Hennessy's.
Hennessy's.
I'll send them to you
The
after.
lead
but-
singer Genesis sounds like a musical theater version of like I don't know. It's like Evanescence meets musical theater meets
Damn,
goth
Amy,
rock.
Yeah.
okay.
It's really good stuff, but you don't realize any of this stuff because I sat in seclusion for such a long time that I'm like, I don't think any of my original music will work here. I need to move to Portland or Austin or something where
LA.
people like weird stuff. But weird stuff is happening all around you. And I guess the point that I was trying to get to
Search for it.
is that there's always a genre template and stuff like that. And I feel like with Oops, we can go and play with anybody and just change our set list so that it sounds more like what's going on there, or just do something completely odd and wacky and whatever. Because at the end of the day, if I get rich enough that I can act as crazy as I really feel inside, I'm gonna do a show where I'm just screaming at a television or something like that, and cutting myself and just going wild. Like that's the dream, to do something completely odd and bizarre and just continue to push the envelope into just madness.
And I'm just in the kitchen wondering what he wants to eat.
Yeah.
Hey, one of you got to be sane.
Yeah, that's right. and the balance is important, but I've talked too much. I'm gonna let Aileen talk more.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing that I think is fun is just I love the crazy,
Yeah.
I'm like, he has like wild ideas, and sometimes I do bring it back to like reality a little bit. I'm like, okay, but realistically, we can't do that. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, like let's do it. It's like it's fun to see someone think of these wild ideas.
It's great to see like every time he has like a wild idea, you're like, I'm down. And I'm just like, she is.
Like,
This is
like, are
great.
you sure?
I'm like, this is exciting. Like, why would I not want to do this? This whole thing has been exciting. It's only been 4 months.
Well, Cracc, when we first started working together, I don't know if you remember what I told you my musical goal in life was. And that's to create a genre of music that does not currently exist.
Yes.
That is my goal. It's going to happen. Like I said, there's a lot of things coming, but the goal for me is to envision something that will live far beyond me, that my son can talk about and say, yeah, my great grandfather made this wacky thing up. And whether or not it's the most popular style of music ever, I don't know if it will be. Knowing myself, probably not. But, you know,
It'll
that's
have a
the
cult
goal.
following, though.
Yeah, for sure.
A cult following is what we
want.
desire.
Yeah.
He actually was the person that introduced me to avant-garde music because he was like, bro, you ever listen to avant-garde? And I'm like, no. I listen to rap and R&B, and I might listen to some pop and stuff now and
He
then.
breaks you out of your shell.
No, for sure.
He really does that for you.
For sure, because he actually put me on the Tech Nine. Even the rap that I listen to is different from the rap that he listens to. So just being around all of ECMG, really, just being around everybody, you're gonna learn something different because everybody has a different taste in music.
Different walk of life.
Everybody's a different walk of life. None of us are carbon copies of each other in the slightest. Like, some of us have like our similarities. Like, me and Spaz are a little bit closer to each other, and me and Nixon are a little bit closer to each other. But we're all so different that at the end of the day, somebody's gonna put you onto something that you never thought you would listen to.
Well, you were the first person to tell me that I wasn't crazy for thinking Mystical was the greatest rapper of all time. You know?
No, you're not.
That's right.
You know?
And when it comes to me, I'm still trying to find my voice. I'm only like 4 months into this whole thing, so I don't even know yet.
What's your inspiration as far as like
It's all over the place.
what musicians
Don't mention
inspire you?
Kitty, please.
Outside of Kitty?
Yeah, outside
What
of Kitty.
musicians do you say?
I would say a mix of Evanescence, Lana Del Rey, Pink Floyd,
Okay.
and I don't know. It's hard. I get Billy Joel. Like, I don't understand how those all mix, but they do. in
That's
my
a
head.
crazy mesh, yeah.
Like, basically Regina Spektor. Take like piano based music like Elton John, Billy Joel, and Regina Spektor, and then mix it with like the heaviness of like when I grew up when I was 12 and 13, like Evanescence.
Right.
But then throw in like some really sweet vocals and like, I don't know, like the Lana Del Rey delicacy and something about all of that. And I'm still not sure who I am yet when it comes to that.
Okay.
So I'm still finding that voice, but I think that ties in with you discovering like a genre that hasn't been invented, because maybe I'll invent a voice that hasn't been invented.
I mean, I will say, like, watching you two work together, I have been really impressed by you. Like, there's something
Thank you.
here, just like individual, just individual Aileen. There's just something there. You have a lot of knowledge. You've introduced me to a lot of songs that I've never heard of before. I'm like, how do you know so many songs that I never even thought of before? Like, it's a lot. There's a whole, like, there's a lot in that brain of hers. But she also has a vision.
What I want to know, Aileen, is how does your piano playing come into the spectrum?
Disclaimer. There's a disclaimer here. Even though she is the superior piano player, I have a God complex, and I've written all the piano parts I am trying to copy the way I feel like she plays whenever I write piano parts.
I'm not gonna lie, like the piano has not been that much of a factor. As much as I love piano, I thought that was gonna be a bigger part of it. It's become more of like, so I used to in the beginning I had to pluck the notes on the piano and make it make sense. I finally got past all that because he would make fun of me for it.
He actually spoke about that in the last one.
I got past it, and now I would like hear the song and I just start going at it.
Okay.
And like I can actually like I would get scared that I wasn't in key or something, and then I just started trusting myself, and I was like, oh, I'm in key.
It was like your foundation, because it was what you understood music through.
I was like, I have to make it make sense. What key are we in?
But then I drove you crazy on purpose.
But that music theory definitely plays a factor.
Oh
in
yeah,
it, so.
yeah. I mean, and I don't have like perfect pitch or anything like that, but I have like, you know, knowledge enough to know like I'm somewhere in there.
But really, really good relative pitch. Really,
I mean,
really good.
The harmonies, there was like 2 nights where I was making harmonies by myself, recording my voice, and like I would like wing it with the harmonies, and then I would play it back, and I'm like, oh wait, I did good. Like I was so confused sometimes, because I'm like, I don't know how to trust myself fully. Like I think, what if I'm all wrong, and then I hear it
But
back
it's
and
okay.
I'm like, oh no, it works.
That's
it's
the good thing. It's okay if you're wrong, because like we said, someone's
What's
gonna
the
like
worst?
it. So,
Also, what's the worst that happens? You just
exactly.
try again.
Try
you
again,
know?
exactly.
Well, but that's my
just delete and re-record.
my favorite things you ever have done have been music theoretically incorrect. Those are my favorite things, because they never clash, but they're never conventional. And I feel like that's what you bring to the table. you don't think you do. You think you
Yeah, I
bring
don't
the
know
pop
if-
part of it or
I
whatever.
don't know if I even know.
But
that
from
I'm
a
doing it
from a
wrong.
vocal perspective, every song that I sing, I feel like I sing it exactly the same way. But you do it. Even our friend was saying that last night. She was saying, you bringing out these different like things,
Layers.
constantly, and just vocals, as you know, man, have always been a thing for me that I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I can't rap. I can't sing. All I can do is make.
He can do both. He just doesn't trust himself enough in those spaces.
I think he can sing.
He can do both.
He can sing. It's just
I have songs with him
he
rapping.
doesn't think he can, but he can.
Don't talk about the songs me rapping, bro. It's supposed to be a
What?
secret.
Man, listen, I'm going to remaster Papa Sid and drop it.
Oh man, Papa Sue was good though. That was a fun song.
That was a very fun song.
But see that kind of thing is what makes it so much fun working with Aileen and like having the support of Mavic and stuff like that. Is that like I get to be more of my authentic self from an original music perspective, and I've just really wanted to separate who is David as a hired gun and who is David as an original music person.
Understand.
Like that's what I've been able to get from Oops, and I'm extremely excited that we already have a record. I thought I was going to drive her crazy with this, and she's just been flowing.
I'm like, where's the next 50 bands?
Yeah, exactly. Like
What's
pushing me
next?
for more. So
She's here for all of it. She's like,
beautiful.
I'm down.
I'm like, this is that's again. I never saw this happening. It is an honor at the end of the day to be able to do music with Mr. 52.
No, for sure. I'm looking forward to
So-
seeing what you guys have to bring coming up. Like I said, I'm ready for the collab whenever. Y'all send me what y'all want. I'm sure the guys feel the same way.
you know how to scream, right, Cracc?
I just want to hear
I
my
mean-
voice.
We'll see.
I want to hear one song with him screaming, me singing, and you rapping at
Let's
the
make
same
it happen.
time because I think that'll be beautiful.
Let's make it happen.
Somehow.
At the
Can't
same
wait for
time,
you
I
to
like
see the
that.
studio.
Yeah.
Hold on, at the same time?
Not the same time.
Yeah,
On the
yeah,
same
no,
song.
I
Or
like
maybe,
that.
or
Yeah.
maybe.
That would be fun if we
Maybe
all.
it's like each person goes one by one, and then at the end there's like a round where everybody's
No, but hold
going.
on. This okay. So feel me really quick. So an epic chorus. Okay, Aileen is singing.
I mean,
it.
you talking like
Aileen's singing
you
it.
talking about like epic, like
Like epic.
we talking like
harmonies.
Skyrim epic.
Oh, you need to release that song. I don't know why you play it so much,
redo
man.
that. And
Yeah,
put it out.
but so Aileen is singing it. Cracc, you're rapping it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going rah rah rah, and we're all saying the same words at the same time.
just in different.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's almost like
That
the
could be your
Tower of
styles.
like the Tower of Babel, and you got like all these
Damn,
people
bro. Okay.
hitting different like all speaking different languages, and maybe even I scream while you rap, and we do the verse. And I'm screaming, you're rapping, and then the chorus comes in. We're all three, and then you sing his rap at the same time that he's rapping, and then we at the end for the epic ending. I'm screaming what you're singing, and then he's rapping something completely different under that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then extra epic ending, it gets real silent and no one does anything.
Yes.
Just go quiet.
I love endings.
That's
where it's
insane.
awkward
Just be
and
Kitty.
sudden.
Or Kitty just shows up and goes, because that's what she does best.
We'll definitely make that happen. I appreciate you guys popping up
Hell yeah.
on a whim.
Thank you.
And-
Thank you for thinking of us.
No, for sure. And I feel like this was a great interview. I look forward to hearing what you guys drop on October 31st. I suggest you guys go listen to it as well.
Pre-save
And
it.
Tell everyone your social medias.
And if you ever want us back, we're both yappers, so it's easy
Oh,
for
for
us
sure.
to.
Love yapping.
We can talk.
For sure. Give them your social medias so we can have them
Oops.
follow you.
Oops _the_band on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel as well. We have a Twitch. Just type in Oops the Band and you can find us. And our merch store is linked in our Oops the Band Instagram.
Yep.
So check it out if you like cats and wizards.
Get your merchandise.
Please do. The shirts are really good quality. I ordered a sample order, and they are beautiful.
I ordered merch like 3 days ago and like it came in already. So
Beautiful.
it's
That's
fast.
It's in Hialeah.
Hialeah.
So if you're in Miami,
okay.
yeah, exactly.
And
get
look
it.
out October 31st for the album. How good is your pretend? And
All right, y'all.
more
We're
coming
out.
soon.
Thank you for another episode of Community Corner. We'll see you soon. Crap.
Bye.
Yay.